Hello guys, I hope you are doing well. Getting a messy data can make you feel as if you're confused, like nothing makes sense. It's like you're lost in a matrix. But to make everything fit perfectly, like a Rubik's Cube, you need effective data cleaning. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you about how to effectively clean your data using Stata and the tools that I'll make available to you. Stick around to find out how you can clean your data using Stata. Thank you. The video about data importation in Stata. If you missed, I've attached the link of the video above. Kindly click and go through it. So guys, we have here our data and we're going to do our data cleaning in the doEdit file. So to open doEdit, you write the command do edit, enter, and this is our doEdit file. And we are doing data cleaning in the doEdit file because data cleaning can be messy. Just like any other cleaning, you can mess somewhere and you want to redo a step. When you have done that step in the doEdit file, it is easily reversible, and hence it will be very advisable for you to do it in the doEdit file. So first of all, we start by looking at the data. So looking at the data, looking at the data before cleaning, it is very advisable, since you'll be able to understand what is important to you and what is not important, hence you can get rid of it. Therefore, let's look at our data first. So br, it is for browse, and you write Ctrl D to run the command, and we are brought to this window. With browse, you cannot edit any data, but you can just look through it and skim. If you want to edit, you run the command edit. That one, it will enable you to edit, but with browse, we are not editing anything in this. We're just looking through it and trying to see what is important and what is not. So the host ID, that is important, since it is a unique code that identifies a specific apartment in a specific place. Host, since this one maybe yes, it is also timeline is important in gauging maybe the person who stayed there the longest and all that. But to me, if when I'm looking at this data, I did not need the zip code, and I did not need the number of records and number of reviews. As you can see, when they do not make sense to me, I feel like I do not need it, so I'm going to drop them. Okay, so let me write this command, start cleaning. So first of all, we drop the variables that we don't want. Therefore, drop zip code, make sure the spelling it is the same as here in the list of variables. If you get it wrong, then it will not work. Zip code, number of, let me expand this so that you can see the correct spelling. Okay, so number of records, and also I want to drop number of reviews. Number of reviews. Okay, and I highlight all of it, and then I go Control D. So you can see we have dropped the variables. Now you can browse again, but the window is already here, we don't need to browse it again. So we have dropped our variables. Okay, another thing is that these observations, the first three observations, to me they seem ambiguous, since they lack some information, like they don't have their review scores. It is not shown the duration of time that there have been residents there. Maybe they are VIPs, who knows. Yeah, so assuming um not assuming, I want to drop them. So dropping observations, you can write that comment there. Dropping unnecessary observation. So you can write drop. Okay, underscore n if it is less than let us just check. You see this one, the first three, so less than 4 drop. So from here to the first one, I want to drop them. If it is less than 4, let's drop them. Okay, drop if less than 4, and write Control D. And when you go back to window, see if it is effective. Yes, it was effective. You have dropped the first 3. Okay, now another thing, it can be renaming our variables. So assuming you want to rename your variables, maybe here I want it to be duration, and here I want it to be duration, here I want it to be, I just want to remain like that, assuming I want to rename only this one. Okay, so can go renaming variables, naming variables. So if we just write the command rename host since, and you're renaming it to duration. So I want it to be renamed to duration, and I highlight it and write Control D. As you can see, it was renamed to duration. Now assuming you want to rename multiple variables, since sometimes you may want to rename like all of these, you want to rename all of this. So to do that, personally, I do not do that with commands, since I find it is very tiresome. So just go to data, data utilities, and go to rename group of variables. So the existing ones, so assuming I want to rename host ID, I want to rename hood, neighborhood, and I want to rename beds. Okay, the new variables for host ID, I can call it serial underscore number. Okay, for neighborhood I can call it location, and for beds I can call it let me just call it number of beds. So number of beds, and I submit first in your do file, since again it will be important in case you want to go back on something or to reverse a step. So renaming group of variables and here's the code to do that. Okay, so yeah, no, okay. So after you have renamed our group of variables, we have dropped unnecessary observations, and now it is time to look at the missing values and see what you can do about the missing values. So I go back to my browsing window, and as you can see that some missing values in location. Okay, and there's some missing values too in review score. In review score there's a missing value. So to me location is important, so if I cannot find the location of the apartment, I think it is redundant to me, so I want to delete all observations that don't have location. Okay, so here you can call it dropping missing values or observations, your pick. Okay, so you can say drop. If missing, you can just write mi, and we are looking in the location, and you close your brackets. So if there are any missing variable in the location, they will be dropped. Control D. So you can see one observation deleted. Okay, so that's how you drop the missing values. And now next thing, it is labeling our variables. Like labeling, it is just an explanation of what serial number means, an explanation of what duration means, an explanation of what price means. So assuming I want to label my variables, let's say price, I want to label price. Okay, labeling variables. Excuse my spellings if it is not correct one. Okay, so you use lava, and the variables that you want to label, it is price. Okay, and price, we want to label it is price in some dollars. Let's say dollars, price in dollars. Okay, so you highlight it, Control D. Say okay, you see it is price in dollars. Okay, you join them using underscore, so that Stata can take it as one, can take all this as one, not as separate strings. Okay, so we have labeled our variables. After labeling our variables, we can go back to our browse window. Okay, what else needs to be done? Okay, I think our data right now looks amazing. Okay, now okay, there's some data that is missing in the review score. The review scores rating bin, so we can drop that too. We are dropping missing values. Okay, can just drop if missing, and it is called review scores. Review scores rating bin. So any value that is missing in the review scores rating bin will be dropped. Right, Control D. As you can see, 8320 observations deleted. Okay, if we go back to our browsing window, see our data right now, it looks more complete, no missing values. Yeah, it looks awesome. So the next thing that you're going to do, it is we are going to okay, so the next thing that you're going to do, it is to compress or to save space so that our data it is as small as possible. So you compress it, okay, right, Control D. 0 bytes saved. That means our data is okay, it cannot be compressed any lower than that, so it is the right size, thankfully. But it is always nice to compress. Another thing is that you can add notes. So that maybe you know what this data is about, or what it was talking about, and all that. So just write note colon. You can say Airbnb in USA 2021. Can add that as a note. Right, Control D. See, and the note has been added. Therefore, when you come back later, you'll be able to know what this data is about. You can also add maybe the date that you did the cleaning. You can write cleaned on 29th 10 2021, and you highlight it, Control D. Okay, so it just adds more information to your data, so that when you come back later, you'll not be clueless, since you can have huge amounts of data that you are editing. Therefore, it is advised to add notes, so that you will know what each do file is about, and what and what you are doing. Okay, so speaking of do file, assuming I want assuming I don't want to drop the values with missing location. All I have to do is that I go here at the beginning and I write a star, or okay, I start a star or asterisk. I write Control A and Control D. Okay, Control A and Control D, and my value with the missing data and location will be back, but that's a small percentage, so let me make like a big percentage, the one that you can be able to see the impact. So this one had 8320 missing observations. So if I want to redo it, I can just write okay. I can add a star there, write Control A, Control D, and that's it. Okay, so it is easy to redo a step when your commands in the do edit file. It is very easy to do to redo any mistake that you have done. Assuming you are recreating something, it is very easy to redo it, and you get back. As I've said, data cleaning can be messy. Therefore, you need to do this in the do file, so that in case of anything you can redo what you have done, okay, or what you regret doing. Okay, yeah, so okay, that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the class. Our next class, I'm going to talk about data regression in Stata. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon, so that when I upload the video, you'll be notified and you'll be able to be kept up to date. Thank you so much. Subscribe, share, comment.
Artlist